Okay, so it's been really interesting because lately I've been having a lot of associations with pregnancy. No, I'm not in a relationship. No, I'm not pregnant. No, I'm not gonna get pregnant or anything like that. But I think it's the universe telling me. I've done some research on the meaning and stuff behind pregnancy dreams, and really you're about to commence a new chapter. It's a new beginning. You're nurturing aspects of yourself to allow those new beginnings to happen, and you just have that excitement, that thrill, like, of you're gonna see what happens. And I also saw another explanation online where it was explaining that when you have dreams of pregnancy, a lot of times it's because you're becoming more spiritually enlightened, and you're becoming more connected to a higher power. And overall, like, these past couple weeks, I do feel more and more connected to a higher power. I feel like I'm starting to fulfill my purpose, and I'm getting closer to, like, the things I want to accomplish in my life, in terms of, like, taking action and planning and all that stuff. I feel like I have it more clear now. And now that I have it more clear, I'm also I did start having these pregnancy dreams. So a couple weeks back, right before the new year, I had a dream where one of the girls who works at my job, oh, by the way, at my job there's like 3 girls that are pregnant, so it also, like, adds into that, which is really interesting. But at my job, one of the girls who's pregnant, I had a dream and she was in it, and I was with her kid, and I was taking care of her kid, and she was literally, like, right across, like, the road. She was at it was like an event kind of that we were at, and so I was watching her kid while she was over there. And then it was just really interesting to see that. And then for day prior to yesterday, to last night, I had a dream that one of my old friends from, like, when I was a kid, my childhood friends, I had a dream that she was pregnant with this guy who I used to date back in high school. She was pregnant with his kid, and then she had to tell her boyfriend, but she told me first before telling her boyfriend. It was so interesting. It was super weird, super twist of, like, people and connections. So it was interesting. But she just kind of told me, like, oh, this happened, and I was just like, what? And so it was a dream about her being pregnant, despite all the extra factors. That's all the extra stuff that I looked at the meaning, but the pregnancy part was the part that really got me. And I'm like, oh my god, wow. And then last night I had another dream again, and in that dream it was me and one of my coworkers, not one of the pregnant ones, it's another one, who I've been pretty distant with. And that childhood friend I've also been very distant with. And lately I've been learning about this whole thing in this class called Kabbalah, where you close the space between you and another person. So that could be, like, tension you have between you and that person. Like, maybe you guys aren't talking, maybe you've grown apart and you don't want to reach out because of fear of something. And so it was really interesting. And, like, for the most part, I don't really have tension with people in my life, despite my co-workers here and there, like normal work stuff. But it hasn't been, like, tension as in, like, oh, I don't like this person or anything like that. So literally the very few people I currently have that tension or that space with has been that particular coworker I had the dream of, and that childhood friend that I also had a dream of. And I've been, like, reluctant to reach out to that childhood friend, not because of anything, just stuff that happened a while back. And I'm just like, should I not? And so I don't do it at all. And then little do I realize, like, I might as well have a good connection with this person, because you never know what could happen, right? So without realizing it, I had created this space or this tension between us, and really there's no space or tension. And so it was really interesting. So that was the night prior to yesterday that I had that dream about my childhood friend being pregnant. And then last night, my other dream was that my coworker, the one that, like, we've been kind of distant with each other, her and I were both pregnant in the dream. and she came over to my house to visit. Like we were best buddies, and we both happened to get pregnant at the same time, and she was coming to visit me at my house, and that's it. Like literally that's it. And then we were just talking about our pregnancy, and then in the whole thing it's like I saw myself pregnant, she was pregnant, and we were just like bonding over the fact that we were both pregnant. And then once again, the pregnancy thing continues to appear in my dreams, as in like new beginnings, and it's coming, and I'm nurturing. And it was interesting because prior to last night, it was my childhood friend going through that, and then now it was like me going through that. So it was me going through that, nurturing my own child in my belly, and having my coworker there who was also nurturing. It was just so interesting. And then it happened to be two people that I've grown super distant with, not because of anything, just we've grown distant. And it was really interesting. I feel like I happen to also be learning the thing about closing the space in Kabbalah, and I'm like, wow, it's insane how everything's just super connected. And then even last night before I went to sleep, I was like, oh, I hope I have a dream about something, because like I love having dreams. I feel like they send me messages, and so I like associate things the next day, and I realize a lot of things, and I'm like, wow, okay, I needed that. And so the fact that these dreams have been back to back, I've been like in the process of like planning my life away, implementing my plans, and I've been feeling this really good energy, this good vibe. And even when I feel down or I don't want to do something, I'm like, oh, but I have my goals, so I have to do it. I'm gonna do it. And then it's just super interesting to see that, and how the universe can send you signs. The universe, or creator, whatever you'd like to referring it to, it sends you signs about like, here there's this, here there's that. So it was really interesting. And then and so like now, like yesterday when I had the dream about my friend, my childhood friend, I was like, oh, I'm gonna reach out to her. Like I felt this tendency to like go and reach out to her. And so I was about to text her right now, because I wanted to see how she was doing and how everything was doing, and tell her, hey, I had this crazy dream about you. So yeah, because I thought that would be really interesting. And then the other coworker that we've grown distance, she actually invited me to brunch today, which was super random, and it happens to also be that she's leaving. So I was just like, wow, it's insane how all that, like, what's going on. And then I, of course I said yes, like I'm super and like I just feel this good energy from her too, despite like there being such distance lately, especially because she like we used to sit next to each other, and now we don't, and we've just grown apart. Like we've been so busy with our work. So I just thought I should share that with you guys, because it's really interesting how dreams can really just give you that oomph, that little sign of like what's going on in your life. And I'm always asking for a sign from the universe. Like whenever I journal, I usually ask there, and then I get whatever the result is, and whether it's yes or no. And so it's really interesting. And yeah, so I will keep you guys posted if there are any weird dreams happening.